Winning one Champions League is the ultimate prize for a club, but we're going to win all three by completing a pentagon challenge. The goal of the challenge is to win all three of the Champions Leagues on FIFA, plus the MLS, and the World Cup with an African team. But here's the twist. I won't be picking any of the teams I'll be using. Of course, that would be way too easy. Instead, we'll use ChatGPT to pick our route, our style of play, and loads more, proving that robots can be the ultimate assistant manager. So, what continent are we conquering today? Over to ChatGPT. Looks like we'll be heading to the USA with another really cool team to be given. This is only their second season in the MLS, so we'll be fully rebuilding St. Louis and going for an MLS Cup in Season 1. Let's see how we're going to be lining up. So to play the recommended 3-4-3 formation, we'll have to fully rebuild, so we'll be using as much of our £45 million budget as possible. We might see a couple of Flamengo players return later in the season. Gabigol's decided he wants to leave Brazil, but he hasn't come to us. You know ChatGPT isn't done yet, so we also have two other goals: never have less than 7 Americans on the pitch, and to sign a player over 83 overall. Sure, there's tons of players at this rating, but it's going to use way too much of our budget if we go too young on this player. So welcome to the club, Roberto Firmino. A player of his class for just 22 million is a great deal, but it's good news we're moving clubs quite soon because we're probably going to fill this club with loads of aging players. We needed a defensive midfielder who could communicate in both English and Portuguese, so welcome to St. Louis, Andre Gomez. And while we're filling our team with good new players, we also had chance to pick some draft players. Chris Watson could become an absolute star, so you'll definitely be seeing him on the pitch at some point this season. So now we have our fully revamped squad. Compare it to what we had before and it is so much better. We put out a team with 8 of the 11 players being signed this summer, but of course the main man was Klaus, who we didn't even sign. He scored 2 goals early on and scored us the winner to make us win 3-2 in the first game, but the hat-trick wasn't even the biggest news. There was a massive injury now for Andre Gomez on his debut, so we decided to promote Chris Watson instead. We noticed he was a really good left mid, so he covers 2 vital areas of the pitch in this 3-4-3 formation. Klaus continued to do the business, winning us this game against Montreal in Canada, his 8th goal in 7 games, and we were shooting up the table, almost guaranteed a playoff spot already. Our next game was massive against second placed LAFC. What a time for Watson to step up. Former Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Roman Bürki also had to step up. Watson had a chance to get a second goal, through on goal, 1-on-1. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite finish the game. We went on to win 1-0 anyway. And look at this form we had going through May. We had win, 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 draw, win. It was time for our first game in the US Open Cup. We went 1-0 down to Colorado, but Klaus, as always, was clinical in the box. Firmino finally scored a decent goal to put us 2-1 up. And it looked like he was finally about to show up in the MLS when he unleashed this shot from 35 yards straight into the top corner. He hasn't really shown his class this year, but if he scores a couple more like that, his transfer fee will absolutely be worth it. He's helped us win Manager of the Month, which absolutely is deserved because we are now top of our conference by quite a lot, 7 points. But bad news all of a sudden. 3 teams have met Klaus's release clause, including Manchester United. With all the fans ready to say goodbye, Klaus treated us to one last winning goal against New England Revolution, which would keep us first in the league, but unfortunately be the last time we would see João Klaus in a St. Louis shirt. We did of course have to replace him, and we went for Matthew Hopper from Middlesbrough. 7.2 million is a little bit of a rip-off, but we're going to put all our faith in him and put him straight into our starting 11 against Miami. When we got a penalty, of course, he was the only option to take it. Hopefully with finishing like that, we will have a serious chance at winning these playoffs. After we scraped past the New York Red Bulls on penalties in the semi-final of the US Open, we had 3 more league games before we were playing in a cup final for the first time this season. First of all, we won 1-0 after a late penalty. Against Charlotte, we got a 1-1, and then against Minnesota, it was a 0-0. A bad spell of form for us, but despite this, going into the cup final, we also were tied with the most points any team has ever got in one season, and we still had 4 games left to play. The countdown was over though. It was time for the US Open Cup final. So they beat New York FC, and we beat New York Red Bulls to get here. Could have been an all New York final. Matthew Harp out to Firmino, hits it with the wrong part of his boot really, curls away from goal. Matthew Harp again, can he get away from his man? He gets his shot off. Good save there from Edwards Jr., but it's going to be a corner. Corner comes in, we win it along the floor, and I think Bell is there. John Bell, centre back, probably the lowest rated player in the squad. He's tucked it in to put us 1-0 up. We've won the ball straight from one of their kickoffs. Harps into the box again. 1 minute after the first goal, we've scored a second goal. 2-0 up already after just 25 minutes. Shot comes. Oh, that's a good save from Berkey there. Right over the bar. Carles Hill gets the ball again. Heads it backwards. Berkey with another really good save there. Harps doing a run. He's through one again. Can he finish the game? Outside the boot. 55 minutes in. 3-0 up. This is looking like it could be a demolition if we keep this up. Firmino, can he score? Off the crossbar to Watson. And then that's tipped over the bar. Look at this constant pressure. What a hit from Alm. He's already been booked though. He's going to be sent off. I'm not sure what he did wrong with that tackle. It was a big tackle, but I think he did get the ball. And Seferovic is through. It's going to bounce off Andre Gomez. Back to Seferovic. Probably only a consolation. And that's that. St. Louis have won the US Open Cup. Of course, not the one that we need to complete our Pentagon Challenge, but we're still happy to win it nonetheless. Our second trophy after the Libertadores, because we didn't win another one in Brazil. And there we are lifting it. The fans are loving it, but we still, of course, want to win the MLS Cup, which is the bigger deal. But still nice to win a trophy on FIFA, of course. So with our season over, we finally knew who we were playing in the playoffs first round, and it was going to be LA Galaxy. It could have been an early goal there for LA Galaxy, but we could have equally have had one right here if Harp hadn't absolutely fluffed his lines. He would get through one-on-one though after 64 minutes, and this time he would know how to finish, calmly slotting in a cross, and that's the 1-0 win we needed to get through to the semi-finals. So now we've already crushed one half of LA with the LA Galaxy, now it's time to crush the other half by beating LAFC. Good chance here for Firmino, well saved there by the goalkeeper. A free kick from Sonora, hits the post and doesn't quite rebound to us, unfortunately. But another set piece, and this time Andre Gomez rises highest, heads it in, puts us 1-0 up, and not long after, we were put 2-0 up by Harp. Easy win in the end. They didn't really have too many chances except that one at the start, but all of a sudden we were in the playoff final. We were actually going to be playing this game in LA, so hopefully the home fans didn't care that we knocked out both teams from this city. You can see our fans supporting easports.com/FIFA, and hopefully the pre-match scenes would be exactly what happened. A nice tap-in from Matthew Harp would see us winning the MLS Cup. But let's have a look and see how we got on in the grand final, the match we need to win to complete the North American part of our Pentagon Challenge, and the biggest game of our season by far. Of course, we're going to play our strongest lineup together. I like Firmino, I like Sonora, Watson's been really good this season, and Andre Gomez, of course, scoring a goal to put us here. Some good possession play here from New York Red Bulls, but good tackle there from Farrell. Absolute rock at the middle of this defense. Reyes gets the ball on the edge of the box, gives it to Morgan, the top scorer in the league. You can see why there. Great save from Berkey. Sonora gives it out to Harp. Can he cut inside? He can. Can he get the shot away? He can. A good save there from Coronel, though. Watson tries to find Harp, but he can't quite get there. That would have been a really good chance. Just before half-time now, and Morgan is through on goal. He slots it straight past Berkey, and all of a sudden, St. Louis are 1-0 down, and it's looking like Red Bull New York are probably the stronger team. So the 2-year-old MLS team is going in 1-0 down at half-time. 45 minutes to save the season, and it's not going to save it if they keep playing like that. Firmino, though, finds Harp. Harp has got a bit of pace here. Can he get away from his defender? Not with finishing like that. He's never going to score if he keeps hitting them like that. He really needs to redeem himself. The corner comes in, and Harp gets there straight into the corner. 1-1, equaliser. He missed the finish, but somehow it counted as a corner. He's absolutely redeemed himself. Firmino, he finds Harp again. He's through one-on-one yet again. Can he do better this time? No, he can't. That's probably even worse than before. Strong attack here. What a tackle from Andre Gomez, though, fully cutting out that attack. Gomez, the attacking midfielder now. He's found Watson. Watson's through one-on-one. Can he hit the target? He can, but that's all he can do. He can't score, and it would have probably been the winner. Luquinhas now. He's got past Berkey, but the defender just about gets there. Sonora on the counter-attack after the corner. He's got someone in the middle. I think it's Bell, the centre-back. It is. Has it gone? He's just about scuffed it in. That's probably the worst finish and possibly the worst goal in any MLS Cup final. But it counts the same. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up, this team doesn't know how to die. It's been by far the best team in the MLS. And now they're ahead in the Cup final. Look at that rebound there. Hits it into the ground. It bounces up, hits him on the knee, and just finds itself going into the far corner. He kind of blocks off the goalkeeper. Could be a foul if there was VAR, but unfortunately for Red Bulls, Absolutely no VAR in this game. Luquinhas now. Oh, Berkey's palmed it out for a corner. Are they going to send the goalkeeper up? Not yet. No goalkeeper coming up. Red Bulls get the corner in. Who's going to get there? Andre Gomez does, and then it's headed down into the ground. Well caught by Berkey. Copper can finish the game right now. Bounces up off the post. Can they get the rebound? No, they can't. Nealis defends it. But that's it. That's full time. And St. Louis are MLS champions. Matthew Hopper, of course, coming in and doing absolutely amazing. 14 goals in 16 games. John Bell, the substitute centre-back, running the length of the pitch and tapping it in off his own knee, kind of just in the corner. Not the best goal, but it's won the MLS Cup for St. Louis. And that also means Vitor Pereira now has 2 of the 5 Pentagon Challenge trophies won on FIFA 23. He's already got job offers from international clubs in Africa. He's already got European big-name clubs after him like Porto and Ajax. But he still needs to conquer Asia before he thinks about heading to Europe or doing the World Cup in 2026. Look how much this trophy means to these Americans. I think personally, I've kind of fallen in love with St. Louis and I might order a kit. If you're a St. Louis fan or a representative, make sure you reach out to me on email because I'm all about getting a good deal on a kit. Anyway, that's the end of today's episode. Subscribe so you don't miss part 3, 4 and 5, which I'll be putting out over the next week. Thank you so much for supporting this series as much as you guys have, because I absolutely love making it. I'm sure you can tell from how often I'm putting them out. And thank you for watching. Cheers and goodbye.